vision at 21 days of prayer this morning. The last video I gave an introduction, so today I'm just going to get right into it. So the vision started again in the sanctuary during prayer, and my eyes were opened up in the vision to see hundreds of angels in the sanctuary, and they were surrounding all of the people that were in there praying, and they were worshiping Jesus, singing along with the praise music that was playing as we were praying. And then this time, as I was watching this beautiful scene, my spirit in the vision started going downward this time through the floor into the earth. And as my spirit was traveling deeper and deeper into the earth, it felt very warm. This might sound like kind of a negative thing, but in the vision it felt very warm, very safe, very soft and beautiful, kind of like a cocoon. And I traveled all the way in the vision to the center of the earth. And then at the very center of the earth was an immense tree. It was beautiful, like a big, huge oak tree with an immense trunk, gigantic, strong-looking trunk and roots going down, and then the branches all coming out. The canopy of the tree was huge, covered so much territory, and the trees, the leaves were very healthy, very thick, the deepest green color that I have ever seen. The tree was just pulsing with life. There were places where I could see the sap running through from the branches, from the roots through the trunk into the branches, and it looked like lava. It was brilliant, glowing, hot with life, just coming up from the very center of the earth, up through the tree, into the leaves. And so as I'm looking at this beautiful tree, I understand that it represents Jesus Christ. And if you read in John chapter 1, he explains that Jesus, the Word, was in the beginning, and that everything that was made through him, through Jesus Christ. So it seemed very appropriate that in the very center of everything, of God's creation, would be this immense tree that represents Jesus Christ. It was just so full of life, the center of everything emanating out through it, throughout all of God's creation. And as I'm watching this tree, there are angels surrounding the tree, and they have come down to the center of the earth with me, and they are all just praising Jesus, worshiping Jesus. I can still hear the praise music, and so they are singing along with that. And as I'm watching, God's saints, these are people I believe who have already passed on, and their souls are with God and with Jesus, and they are coming down to the tree, approaching the tree. And as they get to the tree, they reach their hands out and kind of implant themselves in the tree, and so they become one with the tree. So this makes me think of a visual representation of Jesus as the vine and we are the branches. And so they were becoming the branches of this tree, and I could see the tree kind of growing into them and then becoming part of the tree, taking on the bark and sprouting, and leaves and branches coming out from them as they were implanting themselves into the tree. And as I'm watching, the tree continues growing as all of these saints come down and become part of the tree. The tree continues growing outward, and all of these branches coming out and more leaves. The tree just keeps getting bigger and bigger and rising out and rising up above. And then as I'm watching, I noticed down at the very base of the tree, I can see into the tree. There are like holes in the bark that allow me to see this fire, the lava that is flowing, the sap. And I see a little fire start forming in the very bottom of the tree. And I'm watching this fire, and it's very small at first. And then as I watch, it keeps getting bigger and bigger and seeming to get hotter and hotter. And the sap that is flowing through the tree appears to start bubbling, like it's boiling, and everything's getting hotter and hotter, and the fire is rising up from the foundations of the tree, going up through the trunk and then out through the branches. And I see the sap start dripping out of the branches, and everything just continues to grow. The fire continues to get hotter and bigger, and as I'm watching the entire tree and all of the saints that have become the branches, everything eventually becomes engulfed in flames. And this sounds like it could be a horrible thing, like fire, something terrible. But in the vision, it was all very, very positive. I could see the angels were rejoicing. The saints that had not yet reached the tree but were coming toward the tree seemed to be ecstatic as the flames got closer and closer to them and then overtook them. They were obviously just ecstatic and exuberant, rejoicing. So this was a very good thing. The flames were not hurting or killing. They were cleansing. They were bringing more life. And so I'm watching, and the fire just keeps getting bigger and bigger and engulfing everything that I see. So around all the angels and the saints that are in the tree and the ones that are coming to the tree. And so I'm watching this, and then all of a sudden, abruptly, my spirit in the vision starts going backward, like back up toward the surface of the earth. And it's moving really, really fast at the speed of light. And as I'm going upward, but I'm facing backwards so I can still see the tree. And it was kind of like an Indiana Jones adventure movie. I'm going backward, backward, backward. And as I'm going up faster and faster, the flames are following me, almost reaching me. So, and I'm going up, up, up. I reach the surface of the earth. In my vision, I'm back in the sanctuary and I see all the people. And as I'm watching, the flames have reached the sanctuary and they start engulfing everyone that is in there. And again, it's a very, very good, positive experience. Everyone is rejoicing and exuberant and dancing and so happy. And I can see the prayers and the praise songs that people are lifting up to Jesus as they are there praying. So in heaven and in the spirit realm, you can see things like music and prayers. And in this vision, they appeared like little translucent oblong bubbles, kind of like little translucent bowls or bubbles. And they would slowly lift up from each person, going upward towards heaven. And as the flames reached them, they would explode into flames. So as I'm continuing to go upward, up through the roof, I can see all of the flames just engulfing everything. And then I go out through the roof, and as in my vision before, now my spirit is going up, up, up into the sky. And the higher I get, I can see all the different churches in our area and then across the state, across the United States, eventually around all the world, who are at the very same time meeting, doing this 21 days of prayer and participating in this. So they're all meeting together at the same time praying. And so I can see, as before, I could see all of the Jacob's ladders of angels just spiraling upward from each of these places up toward heaven, praising Jesus and lifting up our prayers and our praise up to God. And only now, this time, they were all catching fire as well. So all of these places around the whole earth were becoming these pillars of fire as the saints and the prayers and the praise, all of these things that were on fire collected and grew larger and larger. So I'm seeing the earth now, and there are these pillars of fire rising up all around the earth. And I could see the mesh of saints that I described in my last video, encircling the earth, all these saints that are praying for the earth right now, praying for all of us. And so the fire engulfed them as well. And so as the fire reached out, I could see them all just accepting it and with joy, and just, it was a very beautiful, obviously amazing, good thing to happen to each of them. And so as I'm watching, the fire continues to get bigger and bigger, engulfing the entire earth. So the whole earth is now in flames, and all of the saints, the mesh of saints around the earth is also in flames. The very last thing that I saw was the choir director angel that I described in my last video, who is at the very top above, in between the earth and the saints, and then God up above us, directing all of it. And so she was the very last thing that I saw in my vision as the flames encircled the whole earth and rose up toward her. I could see her kind of like beckoning the flames. And as the flames engulfed her, I could see her just fling her arms up in the sky, and then look up as the flames just kind of went through her and then shot upward, up to God. And that's it. Have a blessed day.